I'm late on my coffee.
Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike, the creator of the 1NELife podcast, believes most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike wants you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The 1NELife podcast unites the world through art, fashion, music, and film. It inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities and creates an equal playing field for all. On the 1NELife podcast, they cover topics like building relationships, overcoming adversity, habits of healthy people, and much, much more. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the 1NELife podcast to your playlist. That's the number 1NELife. Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and your favorite podcast platform.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the 1NELife podcast. I am Mike MIC Reed, and as always, I got my lovely co-host Diana Gotti from the AV Wellbeing Coalition in the building with us. How you doing today?
I am doing amazing. I'm super excited. You know,
why are you excited?
Because I'm gonna get my boogie on at the gala tonight.
You really said the word boogie.
Yeah,
I know you're not allowed to go because you said the word boogie. This is she's banned.
This is a gala. This is a gala.
Hey, you got to step in the name of love, right? You got to.
This is off to a wrong start.
Anyways, we got a special guest with it, Janet Nungary.
Nungary.
I'm bad with names. Everybody know I'm bad with names.
No, it's okay.
Look, even when we was talking about you, about a month ago?
Yeah.
And Diana was saying your name properly. She was like, Janet. I was like, it's Janet. It's even on the air. I was like, it's Janet.
Yeah.
I'm just bad with names.
See,
yeah,
I
was wrong. Names. I was wrong. I can admit my mistakes.
You're not wrong. You just think about it differently. It's okay. You process it differently.
There you go.
But it's Janet.
Yeah. See?
You told me I could say Janet.
You could. No. Just you though. No. Just Mike Reed. Let's make that clear.
Oh wow, I feel special right now. Anyways, you are the president-elect woman council of realtors, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and a director for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, sir.
Wow, we are colleagues.
Yes, we are.
How you feel about tonight?
I am so excited about tonight because the whole community is going to come together for this, and I am just ready for that.
I am too.
So I take you won't be boogieing, right?
I'm not boogieing tonight. No one is boogieing tonight, guys.
When the last time did you actually boogie?
I'm boogieing. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we went to high school together. Did you guys know that? Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
I just found that out not that long ago. Yeah. Well, like
to high school.
Yeah, like I said, when I graduated, I ran away from here and never looked back.
But you came back.
But I did. Yeah.
I'm glad you're back. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome
home. We are too. So what you got for us for the AV
So we
Coalition?
actually have a lot going on, guys. There's so many beautiful things, especially in the month of March. It's Women's Month. So
pause.
Yeah.
It is.
You see?
It is Women's History Month.
That's why we have Janet.
That's right. That's why we have Janet.
Right.
She is kicking off Women's History Month.
Yes, sir.
Because you are a boss in this community.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So with that being said, we have what is Unbreakable, what is going down Wednesday, March the 8th. It's happening at the Hilton Garden Inn. It's from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. We have amazing speakers that's going to be happening there, which I'm excited about. Make sure to, I want to say, I'm going to also repost it on my social media, but tickets are available still for that event. Again, that's March 8th. And also March 18th. We have Boots on the Ground. We are doing the Antelope Valley reenactment for the veterans, so welcoming them back in a convoy escort, and that's happening. I want to say check-in is for 8:30 for all the vets. So if you do know any veterans in the community, please let them know. I always say if you see them with a hat, make sure you say thank you for your service, and start that conversation. So it's going to be really great for the vets. And then you can go ahead and reach out to Alejandro, and his phone number is 661-627-7825. And lastly but not least, we have the CAP program, and you can reach out to Ms. Nardi Lopez, the city manager. Applications are now open and are being accepted this month through March 15th. I want to say class starts March 30th. And again, that is Ms. Nardi Lopez at the city manager. Her email is nlopez@cityofpalmdale.org. And that's it for me.
That's it?
That's it. I know, right?
Hey, wait, what's that thing that's going on? No, I want to give some shout outs. I promised Michelle I would do that because she hooks us up with tickets.
Oh my God! How
at the
did I blank
Palmdale
out? That's
Playhouse,
right.
That's
going
March
dark.
11th.
Yes,
with
March 11th.
Sean.
Yes, and also
Sean, I forgot his last name.King. Is it Sean King?
Oh,
You
we
got
got to
me.
work on names.
Yeah,
I told you I'm bad with names. That is my claim.
Yeah.
Right?
Sean Hill.
Sean Hill, the poet. Yes.
Sean Hill, and not only that, but Miss Ashley's gonna be back on.
She's gonna be back. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, she is. So that's going down March 11th at the Palmdale Playhouse, and that's another free event for families.
Yes.
So I definitely encourage everyone to kind of get out. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to my good friend Melissa Martinez for being available to do my hair for the gala. Mingle, not boogie.
Can you give me an appointment?
You want to get your hair done
I
too?
need my hair
You
done.
do.
Because I can't wear a hat tonight. This is the only place you got, because you know I'm big on wearing my hats because it's my brand.
Yeah.
Like I go everywhere with this. And tonight is because I'm hosting. So I said, okay, I won't wear my hat.
You know, it's funny because I
I
said
might
that
wear my
this
hat.
morning.
I might be gangster with it.
No,
I don't
don't.
think I've ever seen you without a hat on.
I know. No one's ever had. I know this
This is
it's-
big.
If there's a reason
This
to
is
go to
gonna
this gala.
be no. This is gonna be a challenge. This is gonna be a challenge, you guys. Let's get that clear.
We had that conversation with Brian, and he was like, "I think
You know,
Mike looks like a sneaker hat guy."
You know what? I was there last night with Cynthia. She's
the right, Cynthia?
stupid. What? See, I'm butchering names again. Anyways, she had said she had a top hat for me, but she wants me to do a wardrobe change. She's like, you got to do at least 3 wardrobe changes.
Oh, okay. Y'all
I
living
might come
that
out
life
my
like
t-shirt
that?
and hat like.
Nah.
Wow.
Nah. If I can't boogie, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's line to line. Nuh-uh.
Janet, what do you say?
I say you show up with that hat.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, do it with the suit and everything, bow tie.
Oh, I'm wearing a black pinstripe suit.
Okay.
I'm wearing black on black.
Okay. You're living that life.
You should have busted out one of those, like, you know, those pimp hats people used to wear with the feather and then put your
My
logo
life
on it.
Yeah. See.
If anyone can do it, let us know before
Yeah.
tonight.
You guys got 6 hours.
You got 6 hours to make this happen for Mike.
We need an embroidery.
Embroidery,
Yes.
yeah. That'd
There
be
you
dope,
go.
though. Hey, I got the file for it. Anyways.
Oh, man. Okay, let's go.
Let's go. All right, let's talk about
got him
Janet
thinking
over
now.
here. Miss, you're a real estate agent, too, over at Keller
I am.
Williams, right?
Real estate agent with Keller Williams.
Yeah. How's that going?
It's going great. I've actually been a real estate agent for just a little bit over a year.
Okay.
It's not been too
Really?
long. No. People think I've been
How?
in real estate forever, and I have not.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second because you do have that swag like you've been in it for years.
Thank you.
And that passion,
Thank
like,
you.
no, seriously. Like, I've listened
that.
to you talk and watched some of your posts, and you just sold a home. You just actually got an offer accepted. I follow you. I pay attention.
You pay attention.
But what got you into real estate?
So basically, just to give you guys a little bit of my history, I'm actually a minister. So I've been in ministry since I was 18 years old. That's all I've ever done is ministry. So I have a women's group called Elevate. And this women's group is all about empowering women. So I love that we're starting off this month here now with empowering women because that's all I've ever been involved in. And just up to recent, over a little bit of a year ago, God really put it in my heart to pursue my dreams now that my kids are older. So I decided to just fully go for it, you guys. I was like, you know what? I love real estate. I love everything about it. I purchased a couple of homes already. I've seen women do this and it looks like they're having a great time doing it. So why not? Why not give it a shot at my dreams and actually make something happen for myself? Because I feel like as women, we do so much for others.
Right.
Despite of how we feel, despite of our own dreams, we just lay it all down for everybody else. And it's easy to do that when you're a mom. It's easy to do that when you're a wife. It's easy to just do that in general in life. When as women speak, men do it too, but this is about women. So Mike, just put up with this.
I'm used to that. I'm used to it. It's okay.
So I decided to jump into real estate, you guys, and I can just say that it's been a great journey for me. I enjoy what I do. In just a little bit of over a year, we've been able to do some great sales from it. Of course, it's and I hope we get a little bit into this. So take us back on this because in business or in general, it's so easy to like compare yourself to other agents, to other people, like to see what everybody else is doing that you don't really appreciate the greatness that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I say all that to say because in real estate, just watching all these women killers, man, I'm like, I'm not really doing good, you know? I was like, I'm not really killing it like everybody else is. And that's because I'm comparing my sales to people who've been in the business like 10, 15 years. So now in a year and a half, and I was just talking about this to a friend, she's like, well, Janet, you have to appreciate what you have accomplished.
Right.
A little bit over a year, we've done great sales. We just even sold a home close to $1 million, which I hear a lot of agents even, it takes them a long time to even hit that peak.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that to as a haughty way at all, but it's just really to glorify how good God can be in your life when you trust him. Being now with the AV Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, president-elect with the Women's Council of Realtors. So if I just really took that time to appreciate the greatness and what God has done in my life, that I feel great about my accomplishments. So going back to your questions, yes, I'm a real estate agent now, and I couldn't be happier and feel more accomplished than I do right now, because if I just step back and not compare myself to anybody else and just compare myself to me and my process, I'm doing great.
So let me, because you just said on something, and I actually just posted this on my Instagram a few days ago because I was reading a book, and it reads, accomplishments mean different for different things for different people. For some, it means acknowledged achievements, winning an award, outperforming the competition, or being promoted. For others, accomplishments is more subjective in nature. Completing a task, feeling able to do what is expected of you each day, a sense of competence or mastery in your work, being proud of the work you do. And that is true.
Mm-hmm. It's so true.
It's very true. What you just said is like right on point. And that's crazy that I just read that.
And not only that, but I think it's one of the hardest challenging things for women. I think it's human nature, right? We have so much going on in our lives that we're not as kind to ourselves. It's easier to compare, right? And I used to always, and I think I'm guilty of that. We've had conversations about this with Mike, that I don't give myself enough credit because it's not easy. However, I could definitely, praise you, glorify you. I mean, I think I'm really good about that in as far as my friends, or women that I come across. But when it comes to yourself, it's always, I guess, more challenging because we know the truth. We know what we've been through. We know what we've had to go through. And then sometimes we'll tend to ask ourselves, like, you can do better. But in reality, you're doing just great. You know why? Because that's what makes you unique. That's what makes you who you are, as a person, as a woman, and it allows you to stand out. And actually, when I went to your last event, I came back and I told Mike, you know what, we definitely have to have Janet on here to kick off Women's Month because of how impactful you are, how confident you are. You do walk into a room and you own it, and I wanted to, let you know not only that, but on air, because as women, we have to be telling each other that. You're doing a great job. You're amazing. Your words are inspiring, and they touch home because you really never know what people are going through, and just recently I'm kind of coming out of my little cocoon, and
yes,
Mike has definitely helped me with that. And I could honestly say I have a really long resume, but I never look back and say I've done that, but not a lot of people can say that they've done the things that I have or experienced. I tend to kind of stay to myself, but I'm glad to be around good, powerful women just like you.
But, I think with what you just said, we don't give ourselves grace, right?
Yeah.
I think, because I've actually noticed this, when people are actually living their truth and they're not selfish, it's not about us. Like we're true givers. Like we care about everybody else and we praise everybody else, and it's not about us. Like it's never about me. I don't never want the awards or the compliments or the accolades. Like I'm always about everybody else. Yeah. So I just think that's we're not selfish like that.
Yeah. And so can you tell us a little bit about the events that you actually just put together? I know you just had another one last month, right?
I did, and we're going to continue to have more, but I really wanted to say something as you were talking, because something that I've learned, particularly with women, is a journey of being confident. Mm-hmm. We, as women, judge so much other women who are confident, but confidence is only an act of rebellion to those who have benefited from your insecurity. Mm-hmm. Only those who benefit from our insecurity hate that confidence that you now carry, and you carry a confidence, because if you didn't, then you wouldn't be giving other women a platform to be confident. because only confident women can give other women that platform. And we can say, come and be great. Come and have a voice. Come and be who you are. Women who are not confident normally tear one another down without wanting to. I feel like a lot of the stuff that we want, that we do, and the way that women hurt one another, it's not really on purpose for the most part. It's because hurt people do hurt people. We hear that often. But being a confident woman is really more about self-love. When you truly love yourself, when you love God first and then you love yourself, you can only love yourself when you love the Lord. Because we're made in the image of God. So when we realize how powerful we are because he's powerful, then we love ourselves more. When we love ourselves more, we're able to love one another more. And we're able to see the gold in people. It's so easy to see the negative. That anybody can do. But to see the gold in people, how you guys are doing for this community, that takes a whole other gift, because you're able to put aside the negativity or put aside your own opinion on people and see the gold and give them an opportunity to be here and share their voice. One thing I've learned with women's ministry is that women don't really have a voice like you think they do. A lot of women go through so much behind closed doors, and this is not a victim mentality at all, because women, we're strong. But what I'm saying is that as women too, sometimes we keep silent regarding things that we go through. And we have so much to share, and you never know what someone's going through behind closed doors. So for you to be even able to have a platform to be able to hear women out, men and women, but now women out, because if you allow them to give them that platform to speak, they can minister to someone else who doesn't really have that opportunity to listen to that freedom. Like, you know what? I've gone through things. You know what? I didn't know that I could have made something of myself in my career. There's someone else that's going to be listening to this, that's going to be inspired. And if you can touch that one person, like Mike was saying, it's not about, look at all me that I'm doing, but if you can just touch that one person, then you've done your job. You've done your calling here on earth, and really that's what it's all about. It's about impacting people in your own way. So I just wanted to say that, because I just commend you guys for everything that you're doing, because you don't even know who you're touching. You don't even know who you're impacting. One day you'll know. I feel like when we get to heaven one day, God's going to show us, like, look, Mike, look who you impacted through your broadcast. Look who you impacted. Look, because they heard you that day. They didn't give up. Many people that know me, I share this story. I lost my brother through suicide. And in that, when I lost him in 2013, I began to see life in a whole different way. I began to see the way that I even treat people in a whole different way, because you truly just never know who's in like their last string. And that's why it's vital for us to walk in love. It's vital for us to encourage one another as much as we can, because you just never know what the other person is going through. So confidence does all that. Confidence allows you to be yourself. Confidence allows you to treat other people kind, because when you are putting yourself down and you're in a broken place and you're just in a why me situation, you can't really help other people out.
It's so true.
Wow, I'm at awe right now listening to her. Listening to you. Like, I've watched some of your videos, and I've never got to actually hear you speak in person. But wow, I'm at awe right now. I'm actually at a loss of words. I'm never at a loss of words. Wow, I'm at a loss of words. That was great.
No, actually, I had a friend tell me a story about her son that was kind of going through a few things like that at school. And the mom kind of suggested, maybe you should find new friends. And I guess this girl kind of was, stayed in the back light, or I guess in the back way, and never really talked to a lot of people, was very, very quiet. And he decided that day to sit next to her. And, he started a conversation, was like, oh, how are you? Who are you? She's been there, I think for a few years. I can't remember if it was junior high or high school. And the following day, they met up, they agreed to meet up at the same little area that they were sitting at. And she kind of confided him and said, I'm glad that you came up to me yesterday and, you decided to talk to me, because I was really contemplating on taking my life that day. So you really never know what a simple hello, what you're saying, goes a long way. And that's something that I love to do. I love to always just talk to strangers because you never know how impactful you can be. And I was struggling with being at home. I've worked out my life, and just recently I've had the privilege, and I say it's a privilege because not a lot of women can say, I'm a stay-at-home mom.
That's a privilege.
It really, really is a privilege. And not only that, but now I see it with my kids. To actually be a mom, a full-time mom, a wife, and not only that, but to be able to guide them, help them out with things and be involved. And not only that, but do the workshops with the kids to be able to be that parent for other people or just a voice. So I'm really thankful to say that. So sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating being a room full of, business women or women that are hustlers and grinding and doing all that. But it really had to step back and be like, I've been there. I've never really I didn't get a lot of time to spend with my kids, and kind of raise them because I had to work. I didn't have that time off. I had to grind. We were young parents. We were a young couple. And now I get to do that every day. I get to pick them up, drop them off, and do this, what I love, being in front of this mic.
So now I'm ready now. So I had to process everything you said, because you said a lot of things that was great and on point. And one, the reason why I did this podcast, because I've been on my mindset journey for about 4 years now. And when I was a kid, I actually had someone that set me down and had a conversation with me. And that conversation went a long way with me. And so throughout my journey, I had realized that, different interviews, different speeches I used to listen to, I used to just grab words and just, phrases and sentences people were saying. So it made me realize that, wow, you know what? The stuff that I went through as a child, because honestly, I can really say my journey started when I was 5 months old. Wow. That's when my adversity started.
Wow.
Because, I don't know if you know my story, but my mother was killed and murdered in front of me at 5 months old. So the stuff that I went through, even from there, growing up in the neighborhoods, I went through a lot. And I look back at my life now and be like, wow, I can't even believe I'm here today. Because I can't believe because I know it was God. God is always on my side. But back then, even maybe 10 years ago, I couldn't believe how I gotten to where I've gotten. So, but that's because I've always taken little stuff from different people. So it made me start just doing, this is one of the reasons why I want to do my podcast, is because I knew if I just told my story and sat with other people and let them tell their stories, that all this stuff is timeless. Even in 5-10 years from now, it's all going to be on the internet. It might reach somebody. And that's why I do this.
So you said you've been in a mindset journey for 4 years.
Well, I started my mindset journey, I want to say, when I finally settled down and said, you know what, I want to change my mindset.
Love that.
Because 5-10 years ago, I honestly, I was like most people, and it's like, I thought I knew everything. I just thought, because I was high in entertainment at the time, and just on a high, and it took, some tragedies or whatever to really humble me. And I don't know if it ages as well. Age does that to people. Yeah. Really makes you humble yourself and start thinking about, because my grandmother raised me, all the things she used to say to me. I was like, oh, wow, now I get it.
Yeah.
It's crazy how we get older and we think back on those times. Now we understand what our parents were trying to teach us and tell us. But you had said something, because I want to touch on something. You started your journey ministry when you said you was 18, but you talk with so much passion. I can feel your energy. Where did that come from? What was your biggest adversity way back when you were a child? Because it just didn't start real estate a year ago. You talk from a lot of experience and passion, and I know that came from somewhere. Was it from when your brother passed, or was it way before that?
I can say that I truly did have an encounter with God at 18. 18. When everybody was partying, when everybody was out, I truly had an encounter with God that changed my life. But when I lost my brother, I feel like that's when I built a relationship with God. Mm-hmm. So I knew religion for many years, but I came into a relationship when I lost my brother, because it was what I call a do or die moment.
Right.
And I know many of you who are probably listening, and you yourselves have encountered that do or die moment
Yeah, some people call it that come to Jesus moment.
That come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
Okay. 1000%.
Yeah.
It was a come to Jesus moment. I just lost my best friend through suicide.
Yeah.
And I blamed myself for a long time because how could I not have seen that?
Right.
As a minister, how did I miss that? How? You know, we were only 3 years apart. That was my brother. That was my best friend. So I struggled with that. But through that, through my pain, I built a purpose through that. And I got to a place on my knees where I just said, God, if you don't save me from this right now, this pain, I will die. So I just started reading my Bible. I started praying. I started meditating. I started just truly just finding myself and who I am. And that's where my ministry was birthed, which was Elevate Life. I have the Elevate Life Realtor now. It kind of birthed into that, but it's through that. But I've been on a journey of self-love, and I feel like that's probably what you're feeling, that energy. I've been on a journey of self-love, and particularly last year and this year I'm going deep, and God's taking me deep. And up to recent, the Lord really had me look back as to when I was a child. And many of you, I encourage you to do this exercise because it helped me out a lot. I pulled out a picture of me when I was a child, and I put it in front of me. And I began to talk to that child. And I began to apologize to that child for being so harsh on her. I began to apologize for believing all the lies that were told about her. When you don't know yourself, guys, it's easy to believe what everyone else says about you. When you don't know who you are, everyone else will tell you who you are. Your enemies, social media, the words that your parents spoke to you as a child, they literally just float around in the spirit realm, every word that was ever said against you. You're dumb, you're stupid, you never amount to anything, you're not good enough. You know, all those things, and you put in whatever applies to you, whatever was said to you. So I know what was said to me. And I had to apologize to that little girl for believing them. Because for a long time I did. And I had to really sit there with the Lord in that picture of me as a child and say, I choose to love myself. And I began to tell that child, I love you, Janet. As foolish as that felt at that moment, but I began to say to myself, I love you. And you deserve greatness. You deserve good things in your life. You deserve to fulfill your dreams and your destiny here on earth. And I'm so sorry for believing what everyone else said about you, because I know that's not who you are. And as I was speaking to that child in me, I literally, guys, began to cry. Like I've never cried that way in my life. And that healing journey began to come where I just began to love myself. And I began to realize it's okay to love yourself. But why is it that as a society, we make it so bad to be confident and to love ourselves? And because, like I said earlier, only people that have benefited from your insecurity do not want you to love yourself.
That's so true.
And in that journey, I found myself.
So that goes back to what I always talk about, the we system and the I system. All those years when you was that little girl, you was part of the we system with people telling you this and that and that, and that's what you believed, right? Until you finally became the I system. You became into yourself.
I love that.
That's from another book I was reading. It's called The Bradshaw. My therapist gave me the book. He said you need to read this.
Shout out
No,
to
I'm telling you,
therapist.
because that's how I was. I was part of this we system. I'm telling you, until I was like maybe mid-30s.
Yeah.
Then I started going to therapy, and this is also when I was deep in entertainment and just believing this, and I was the shit and blah blah blah, And my therapist was like, "You need to read this book," and it's about family systems. And he said that he was like, "You're still part of the we system. You haven't grown out of that and became your I system yet."
That's really good.
Because
I love that.
because when you're a child, your name is given to you.
Right.
Everything is given to you as a
Everything.
child. And you believe it because that's your environment. You believe everything everybody's telling you, whether it's your parents, your auntie, your friend, whoever. That's who raised you, and that's what you believe. Until you become an adult and older, and then you start developing into your own self and then walking your true path, your path. That's when you become the I system. It's like
love
what you're
that.
saying.
Yeah.
That's true. That's actually why I moved away from here. Was the fact that I wanted to leave everything behind you know, and even including my family, because I think they had, I think, an idea of who they thought I should be and who they thought I was. But in reality, I don't think I even knew. But once I kind of left, it was so liberating. And the beauty of that is that I got to create who I really was and who I truly am and make my own decisions and choices. And I think that that's what was the beauty of it. And I think that that's why I had so much resentment. You know, like being here was because I think, you know, there was a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that had happened. And I just didn't know how to pull away from it and stay here, you know, because it is a small town. Everyone kind of really knows you and knows everything about you. So that was the most liberating thing I did. And that's the reason why I actually left.
But you know what? A lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
They're stuck in their environment, and because they don't know the unknown, they're scared to move out of that city or that town that they're in. Because everybody's scared of the unknown, right? Yeah. So it's okay to get out of your environment like you did and go find yourself and go be you and come back, and it's okay. And that's what you did. But most people are so scared to leave that square block that they're in.
Yeah, hell no, I ran.
I mean, I had to do it. Like, this is one of the things that saved me. A friend of mine took me out of the neighborhood, and I always say this, it's so cliche. He took me to Hollywood, and I saw the Hollywood lights, and I was like, ooh, I want to be in entertainment. Like, I left the hood alone. Yeah. Like, that moment, I left the hood alone. I was like, ooh, I want to do this. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. You know, honestly, the best thing about working... So before this, I used to work for a doctor. We did hair transplants, right? So it was honestly probably the best experience because I worked with some of the wealthiest, most powerful people in the world. Not just in our town, not just in our states, in the world. Oh. And having those conversations like what we're doing now was so enlightening and so just amazing. To think, just sometimes they would also say that people think just because we're wealthy and we have money that we're not human. And some people just wanted to have conversations, although I used to get in trouble a lot for that. Like, you can't be talking to the guy and be like, but they want to talk. But you know what I realized is that that's the most expensive thing, is to really have conversations with people. You know, and I knew at that point that that's my superpower.
You said it's the most expensive thing?
It is, because people don't have time to have conversations. They don't. People don't want to make the time, or people pretend that they don't have the time, when in reality it's so free, so easy. But it really is, because people sometimes feel that they're taking something from them just having a conversation. You know what I mean?
Connection. Yeah,
having those connections. And a lot of times they look at certain people with wealth like an opportunity. And it's so unfortunate that they come across so many people that just need of them, that they've never really experienced a genuine conversation. Like, how are you? What did you do yesterday? Oh my God, you did that? Tell me more about it. You know, and really want to know in depth of who they are as a person, as an individual. You know, some people really just don't do that. So I am thankful for that, you know, to have had that experience. And I think that that's what allowed me to grow, to really see people on another level. Like, not just because you're in a certain position, if you've had wealth, that it makes you any different from me. Right. We're really all the same.
Right. So, you know, that just takes me into the next thing I want to kind of talk about, unity, because we all serve the community, and you're big serving the community as well, especially because you just joined the Chamber of Commerce, and you're getting installed this evening.
Hey,
so a couple of things. One, I want to know why you want to join, and then two, as far as like unity, and this may be a long question or a long conversation. How do you bring everyone together when it's so many different egos and so many different bosses? Because all of us out here, especially in Antelope Valley here, see, like, everybody's an entrepreneur, right? Everybody wants to lead, but there's this, I don't know if it's a stigma or misunderstanding or whatever, but there's so many, like I said, bosses, and everybody want to lead, but I feel like we all have to take the ego out of it if we want to really come together, and 'cause we all use this word unity. All right. I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
I'm a big believer in unity. So the reason why I joined the Chamber of Commerce is because of exactly what you just said. So I've been serving my community behind closed doors for a very long time in the church, hidden behind the four walls of the church, right? So whoever comes into the church, we would help them, whatever it is that you needed. Let's have a conversation. But I realized, like you said, so many people out here in the business world also need that love from the community. Also need to learn how to come together because we don't trust each other anymore. That's just like the truth.
Right.
Nobody trusts each other anymore.
Right.
And everyone's just kind of looking at one another like, who's going to stab me in the back next?
Yeah.
And if I open up to you, is the world or the Antelope Valley, which is our world here, right? Like it's so small. Is everybody going to know about it? Who can I trust? And something that I said in a meeting we just had, we had a really powerful meeting about 2 weeks ago. We were talking about leadership. Some of the best leaders are the best servants.
Yes.
The best leaders are the best servants. We become servants to all men.
That's right.
Leaders lead by character. If we're able to do just that, Mike, if we can lead and serve our community by character, by true love, that already automatically will bring unity.
Thank you for saying that because I literally just had lunch with Darlene Trevino a few days ago.
My bestie, shout out.
No, shout out to Darlene Trevino-in-law. But we literally had lunch a couple of days ago, and that's exactly what we talked about. Wow. And we came to the conclusion, like Mike, I was saying this to her, and she was saying it to me, we have to lead by example. Like we have to put all that negativity stuff behind us and lead by example. That's the only way we're going to make a change.
It's
100%.
100%, yeah.
We have to learn how to match. People always say match energy, right? I'm going to match your energy. If you're low, I'm going to go low. No, you come up to mine.
Right.
Because that's what leaders do. Leaders do not come down for anybody.
Right.
We vibrate up here.
Yeah.
We're up here by character. We're leading and we're doing our best that we know how to lead a community right now. And what we're doing with the chambers is just that.
Yes.
We're united as directors. We're united. We're a force. So somebody has to stand up and do it, right? Somebody has to stand up and be the first one and say, you know what? I know that maybe so-and-so's motive might not be pure. I know, whatever it is that we think we know. But as long as I maintain a pure heart,
Exactly.
as long as my motives are pure, as long as I know that I'm doing this not for a pat in the back, but I'm doing this truly for my community, then that all by itself will bear fruit. You will know a tree by its fruit. If the fruit is good, the tree is good.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm excited, you guys, for this year because I'm telling you that as the Chamber of Commerce, we're going to kill it. We're going to kill it because we have a great team.
We do.
We have great people with great hearts, with great motives. And I believe that this community, and we've already been seeing it. I don't know if you guys have noticed, there's been such a movement. Maybe not everything's perfect, but we're seeing a movement. We're seeing people wanting different.
But you know what?
I like that.
I think we talked about this on the last show, right? Nothing is perfect. And I honestly don't want to be perfect because I want that 20, like I like to be around 80% because I want that 20% to grow. I have a growth mindset.
Yes.
I constantly want to grow. I don't
Always.
ever want to feel like, okay, I made it, I'm there. It's like, no, then what else is
what?
life?
Then
right?
what?
So I love the fact that, we go through our changes. Like, yeah, our chamber is not perfect, but we're all leaders, like we were just saying, and we're going to continue to grow and get better. And I love that because I see where everybody, and I always look at intent. Like no matter what our struggles is or what our challenges is every day, I look at the intent. And then if the intent is good, we're going to get better because none of us are perfect. We all have our flaws, right?
Yes.
But we're going to learn from each other. We're going to grow from each other.
And give
as
each
long
other
as the
room to
intent,
grow.
and as long as the intent is there, we're going to be fine. We're going to be amazing.
Oh, I'm
We already are amazing.
Yes. More amazing.
No, there's good. And I always say there's a leader and a dictator. A dictator will always sit back and tell you what to do. A leader will show you and guide you and be at the front line with you.
I love
And
Yes.
what you were saying, it all does come back to character and, and I guess projecting what you want in return. I always say that. So that's good.
Absolutely.
So what else? What else is popping with the chambers? After the gala, what's the community to look forward to? Don't you guys also have a luncheon?
Yeah.
This month?
We actually, and our next big event is the National Day of Prayer, May 4th.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that's going to be our next big event.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be powerful.
Yeah, no, it is. It is,
and it's the first one, right?
It's the first one. It's the first one for us. But they used to have it back out here a while ago. The sheriff departments used to do it, but then COVID hit and then they stopped. Yeah, and it was really big. So Mark, our president, decided to take it upon himself and bring the chamber into it. So we're gonna be the first ones to bring it back. And there's so many people behind it right now. Like, it's gonna be amazing.
Dang, I'm excited for you guys. Yeah. I know last year I was just kind of watching and saw that there was a gala, and I was like, oh, dang, okay, there's things popping in Palmdale. So I'm excited to actually be there. I'm excited. And Pastor Adriana, she's the co-chair for the committee, and she's leading it. So it's going to be amazing. Yeah. I love Adriana. Adriana's so cool. She really is. She you know what? She gave me my first Bible about 2 months ago. Nuh-uh. Yeah. Wow, congratulations. No, because, I grew up as a Catholic. I was an altar boy and all that, right? Mm-hmm. But then I, went into Christianity, and I went into spirituality, I went through all these things. And I feel like I am more spiritual, but I have a personal relationship with God. Like, God is always going to be my foundation, 100%. He made the stars, the moons, and all this stuff, right? He made spirituality, right? So he's always I have a personal relationship with him. I love it. And people don't really hear me talk about him a lot because I just don't, because it's just me and him every day. Like, I'm driving down the street, thank God. I thank God with everything, right? So that's my spirituality. But I never, ever read the Bible. And that's only because, and that's what I was explaining to her, and that's why she went and bought me one. I never understood it. It's like the Bible to me is like a law book. Like, if you're not into it, like that, like it's hard to understand. Sure. And I used to listen to people quote all these scriptures and all this, right? And I used to hear people's opinions about stuff, and everybody has an opinion, which is fine. But to me, it was like, that don't sound right. Like, I feel like certain people, and a lot of people really, they take a bit of a scripture and they run with it. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, you got to read the whole thing. Yes. What you're saying is not true. Like, read the whole thing. Read the whole I'm saying? Chapter. Right. Read the whole chapter. Like, because what you're saying is not true. But they run with those little scriptures. And that's why I never really talked about scriptures or really got into it, because I'm going to be honest with you, I just never understood it. But now that she got it for me, like, I really try every day to read 15 minutes of it. And I've been doing good. I missed some days, but I'm actually reading it, and I love it because I want to understand it. And I know it's a journey for me. Like, I'm not going to get it tomorrow, next month, next year. It's going to be a journey, and I'm actually excited about it and looking forward to it. Congratulations. I'll be asking you how that's going now. That's so exciting to me. No, absolutely, yeah. And it's not like your typical Bible. It's the leadership Bible. Okay. I forgot the guy's name. It's the red and white thick book. But it is a Bible, but it is, I think, his version. More of a breakdown. Yeah, and it's his version. So, but it has all the scriptures and all, everything in there. But I'm excited. I actually get excited when I read it every day. That's awesome. Yeah. Look at you. Yeah. I think I used to do it when I was younger, but I will be honest, I'm guilty of not reading it as I should. Mm-hmm. I think it was a weird relationship we had with God, but I've come home. I've come back. It's okay. It's okay to take breaks. It's fine. You're good. Okay. No, that's why sometimes I trip out. Like, it's like, man, I really should, but when I do read it, it's interesting. I think it's just scary. It's scary what's in there, because there is a lot of knowledge. There is a lot of truth, and there is a lot of things that make you. No, and that's what I mean. Like, and maybe you can shed light on this, because it really is. Because some of the things, like, I read and it's plain English, but it's like, I really don't understand what I just read. But I want to, but I know I'm gonna have to read the whole thing a couple of times for me to be like, oh, okay, now I get it. How was your journey? You've been in since you was 18. You look like you're 21 though. Get it? Mike Reed is my favorite person in the Antelope Valley. So I'm saying, like, a couple of years, like. But how long did it take you to, like, really understand it? Well, I think that anybody who reads the Bible for the first time is like, what is this? What is it all about, right? Because you're reading stories about people that you've never met. And a lot of the New Testament kind of links back to the Old Testament. So if you don't really know about the Old, it just, it is kind of, it could be very confusing. I always tell people, start with the book of John.
Okay.
I don't know where you're starting, but the book of John to me is just a lot more simple, a lot more basic. And also the translation that you read. I like the New Living Translation. So it takes away the thou, shall, all that stuff. If you read that with the King James Version, it's going to be a lot harder. Right. That's not our language. We don't talk like, who talks like that, right? Like thou shall not.
Right.
That's already intimidating. That's like, what do you mean? But if you say you shall not, right? You will not, I'm sorry. You will not. That's more New Living Translation.
Okay.
It's a lot more basic. It's a lot more simple to understand. But the more you read it, the more it's going to make sense to you. Not all of it. Because some stuff, it is kind of like, you just got to walk by faith on it, you know? But for the most part, it will make sense eventually, the more you read it.
Yeah.
I haven't started in one particular, what do you call them? Like you said, John, like
The
what
book
is
of John,
like, no, but
New Living Translation.
No. So like there's book of John, there's,
So like
guess
Matthew,
it's
Mark, Luke, and John are the first 4 books of the New Living, of the New Testament.
right. But so what do you call the chapters? They're chapters. So the book of John is one chapter. The book of Matthew is one chapter.
Is another,
They're chapters.
Right.
Okay, I thought it was another word, but they're chapters. See, I'm learning. But I didn't start with a chapter or through John. I started in the back where it gave, I think it's like 125, 128 success, I want to say, rules. And in those 128 rules are Book of John, Book of Matthew, and all these different quotes and scriptures. And I'm just going down the line because those are the success rules because it's the leadership Bible. So I'm reading that. So I'm going different books all the time, back and forth, because I just want to get down the rules. So I mean, that's where I felt like I wanted to start. I was comfortable with that, so I did that. Good. So I'm reading like all of them, honestly.
I've done that when I was going through anxiety years ago, and I pulled up all the scriptures that talk about anxiety. So that's another cool thing that you could do with the Bible. It's like anything that you're going through, anxiety, fear, depression, you can pull up all the scriptures. Now we have Google, so that's pretty dope. Google it, and you get all the scriptures that talk about that. So that's what you're doing basically, but with leadership. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I have a question for you. What is it that brought you to do, I guess, more work with women? What gravitated to you to that? And, or maybe not work with youth or work with families. And I only say this and bring it up because we are in Women's Month. What is it that just kind of inspired you to do that?
I feel that women were more drawn to me, and I didn't know why. Because the call of God is with you since you're born. Since you're born, you're literally born with the calling on your life. You don't call yourself, God calls you. It's there already. And I remember since I was a little girl, people would come up to me since I was 6th, 7th, 8th grade, middle school, and just tell me their deepest secrets. And I'd be like, man, why do people keep telling me? Like, I'm talking about bad things that were happening to them. People that don't even really know me were drawn to me and would tell me things. So I started realizing there's something there, right? There's a gifting there because for whatever reason, God would give me a word for them that would just help them at that moment. So once I turned 18 years old and I gave my life over to God, it just started flowing together. It's like not something I made happen. It just happened. And my love for women just began to increase. And I just wanted to see women be empowered. And through that, I learned something very, very vital that the Lord really dug into my spirit. And I mention this every time, but it has to go back to community. Because if we empower you as a woman, you're going to go back and you're going to empower your family. If you empower your family can now empower their friends and their neighbors. And if they empower them, they can now empower a community. And if we can empower a community, then we empower generations to come. But it all starts with the woman.
I like
so
that.
That's why. That's the driving force.
That's key.
I love this.
Yep.
You just wow. Again, I got to process that. Wow. So what's next for you?
Yeah.
I don't know what God has next for me. I really don't. I'm living by faith and all. But I could tell you that we've been having meetings. And I've never seen that many business people show up to my meetings like I have been in the past recent months. So God's doing something big. in this community. And all I'm doing is just becoming a vessel alongside with whomever else is willing to come along and just say, God, here we are. We're not perfect. God's not looking for perfection, or else none of us would be used, right? But he's looking for willing vessels that just say, yes, God, I'll be your hands. I'll be your feet. I'll be your mouthpiece. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. So whatever comes next is going to be up to whatever God has.
Dang, that's good. That's actually, I think we need that. There's, these are tough times that we're living in. And I think as women with kids, it's really shifting us, you know, and I could speak, I have 2 teens. And boy, whenever I can get around other women now, although I used to try to push away as far as I can and just kind of stay in my own lane away from women, to be honest with you, I'm like, yeah, I'm a little bit on the flip side. But it's true, honestly, because if the woman or the mother of the household is struggling, her home is struggling. You know, because if she's struggling, her husband's struggling, how can she help her kids from struggling? So that's actually key. It's key. You know, I'm really big about the youth, but in reality is if a parent is not helping that foundation for that child, how are they supposed to know better? You know?
So true.
And if the mom's not being inspired or pushed, you know, how are they supposed to teach their kids how when they're struggling, you know, and to be able to push?
Absolutely.
So I definitely tip my hat to you for that one.
I feel
I'm still
like
working on it.
I can tell you and Darlene are best friends.
We are.
No, I can tell. Only because, like I said, when we had lunch the other day, you know, she was asking me the same question I just asked you, and my answer was the same. It's like I got out of entertainment a few years ago. Like actually during COVID, I decided I didn't want to go back. Right. And even doing like this production today, I realized why I don't want to go back no more. You know, it's like 12, 14 hours. Like I'm so tired right now. But I mean, I love doing it though. You know, I was actually talking to Mark about it this morning, you know, cause Mark is dead tired right now cause he was out late with us too. But, she was asking me what was next for me. And it's like, I don't know. Like I do this podcast and I have my brand and I was like, I'm going strictly on faith. I literally have, obviously I have a vision, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just going day by day. And every morning he wakes me up like, all right, going to work. Just do what you want me to do. And wherever it takes me, it takes me. But I don't really have this big master plan. I have a vision, but I don't have a master plan. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to do this stuff. I just get up every day and just enjoy. I'm a moments person.
Yeah.
And I've learned to just live in my moments. And if I wake up in the morning and he says, okay, it's time to go to work, I'm there.
What's meant for you is for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I am.
I love it.
Yeah. So business-wise, on your real estate, so Elevate Life is your real estate company as well.
Yes.
Any big plans with that or like?
Oh, absolutely. In business, absolutely.
Do you just do residential or
I've done commercial.
no commercial?
Yeah, I actually helped Darlene purchase her commercial building for Trevino Law Firm.
Nice. Okay.
But I focused on residential. So I'm really excited for what God's going to do through there because I am intentional with that. I do believe in being intentional as well. You know, be intentional with your goals.
Yeah.
So my goal is to be obviously a top producer out here in the Antelope Valley. Why not?
Okay.
God is on our side. We can do all things.
Get it, sis.
Yes. So that is the goal eventually, you know, through that. But I'm excited for what God has for. I got kids too.
Right.
So I'm like, I have to get my kids through college. It's so funny because one of my boys asked me, they're like, Mom, how much money do you have saved up for my college? And I was like, the fact that he's even thinking about it, he's 14. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's 14. Like he's about to graduate high school in 4 years. How is this happening? Yeah. So that's another goal for me is to be able to get all my kids through college. And
and it comes by very, very. Is he your eldest, the 14?
He's my eldest, yeah.
How many kids you got?
I have 4. I have 3 boys and a girl.
Oh, wow. I would have never guessed.
Yeah.
And what I know, I was about to say she's 21 with 4 kids. Like, what are the age ranges? I got to know.
I started having my kids when I was very young. I was 22 years old, and me and my husband, my goal was to have 6. And
6?
Yeah, I wanted to have 6 kids, and he was like, absolutely not. He's like, you are insane. And I was like, no, I come from a family of 7.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So to us, a big family is like
everything.
Christmas, our gifts are up to the ceilings, and Thanksgiving, all that stuff. So I love big families. I was a stay-at-home mom for a very long time too.
Yeah.
I remember I would feel so much shame for that too. I hate when girls, moms shame people for being home. But then you also get mom shame when you have a job. So I just realized
either way. Did you say you come from a big family?
I do.
And
huge family.
What's the number?
What number?
Like how many siblings?
7.
Oh, 7.
Oh, I'm sorry.
7.
Okay. So 7. Okay,
7.
I did as well. And where do you fit in with that 7?
So I am number 5.
Okay.
Sorry, number 4.
Number 4. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like in the middle. So I learned to survive on my own. It's too many kids.
I was the baby. I'm the baby of 7.
Oh, you're the baby of
I'm
7.
the baby of 7. And it's not true that the baby is spoiled.
No?
Oh, no,
That's
it
a
is.
It's my middle sister. That's a mess. It's my middle sister. And she hates when I say this, but she is the spoiled one, and everybody agrees. But when we have like our Christmas lunch dinners and all that, we remind her every year, and she gets pissed. She's like, but she is. It's the truth.
Well, I'm the baby, and I definitely got spoiled.
Okay, well.
My baby gets spoiled too.
Yeah.
We need to talk to your family, Mike. They're ripping you off. In that,
Probably.
You're supposed to be getting spoiled. What's going on?
I don't know.
Now, I wish we would have had more kids, but I look back financially. I think we were thinking financially. We only have the 2.
Okay.
And we also started at 22. And I thought to myself, I want to be able to be present, be there for them. But now they come back and they're like, I wish I would have had a brother. I wish I would have had a sister. So we gave him a dog for Christmas. I was like, here you go. That's the best we can do. But they feel it. Sometimes when I do hear people say that, about the big families and things like my husband's the only child. So that's
so
like
to him
even worse.
too is he's already with a lot of kids.
Yeah. So I wish I would have had more kids, but
I did. I got 2. Both my kids are grown, and I was actually, and I love my daughter. So, and sometimes she listens. I love you, Kira. But it's not that I did not want you. It's just no. When me and my ex-wife had our first child, our son, he was born with cerebral palsy. So that was just scary. And so at that point, I did not want to bring another child into, because it was just it was a scary moment because we didn't know what we did wrong. And you think about that. So when you have a child with a disability, you really think about like, okay, what did we do wrong? Right. And I know it's not something that we did, but it still goes through your mind. Yeah. So when my kids are 5 years apart. So when she said she was pregnant again, I was just like, I was so nervous through that whole 9 months, like for real. And then when my daughter came out, because the doctors, they know like immediately once they come out, right? Because they told us when my son came out. But when my daughter came out, it's like, you got a healthy girl. And I was like, yes. And then it was funny because when I was in the room, he was like, you want me to tie your tubes? And I was like, yes. And she was on the table like, no. I was like, I'm done. Yeah, I'm not going through this again.
Yeah, my husband had a vasectomy. He was like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Like, he was so young too. He got it at 28.
Girls too. That's the best thing we ever done. Yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry, but we go through labor. We do all that. No, I preach and I tell people, like, let me tell you, you need to have that conversation because it's a simple snip. I mean, in a few days,
in and out.
Men are fine. So this is women's
But
month.
see,
Okay,
right. But see, I just turned 52, and these are not conversations that I don't even know, because I'm not having no more kids at this age. This is my daughter.
Sure, it's still a possibility.
No,
was just gonna
because
say,
my
never say
daughter
never,
just
don't
turned
play.
21. She's the youngest. She just graduated college. I'm cool.
But
I
if
did
you
my
ain't got
I did
the
my part.
snip,
Did my job.
you still have the. You
It's
know what
still
I'm
a
saying?
possibility.
Okay. Yeah.
No, because it's
said
not
no because.
no. Oh no, because can I say this on the air? I'm gonna say it. You know me, I don't give a shit.
Say it.
Because Marcy, she can't have kids no more.
Oh, well, you never know, but still.
No, she can't.
Okay.
She had her 3, and she said that's when she had her things started, so she was done.
Miracles happen.
No, see, come on.
See, I know
why
they
you
used to
wanna
try to
put
say
that in
that to
universe?
us. Girl,
Why
that means
you wanna
us too. No, don't be talking about that. We don't want to be those miracles.
Yeah. You have one, I have one.
Yeah. No, I'm
good.
good. Okay, now we go. No,
Wait,
good.
you need 2 more. You said you want 6.
That was the goal, but no.
Now the reality
Now
hit.
the
You're like,
reality
you know
hit.
what?
My boys are teenagers, and you
Yeah.
deal with these things. I'm just like, no, I am.
And just
They're
wait.
getting at that age where it's.
It gets a little bit interesting after. Yeah, my son will be a senior next year, and it's interesting times. Although my daughter, she's gonna be a teen, and man, that girl's lost her mind. But I love her.
She'll get it back.
Yeah, no, she's
Back when we were teenagers.
she's
you know?
adjusting. Yeah, no, but it's different times. It is definitely different.
But
times.
that's the thing that I mean that's
Girl,
but that's
I think we were okay a little bit.
no,
back
but that's
then.
still subjective, right? Because our parents are saying the same thing about us. Yeah. They're saying, and it was like
it was true.
when we grew up, our generation it was different from our parents' generation.
Yeah. No, I
So,
guess.
it's
I
all
mean, we had
different times.
MTV. They have what is it? TikTok.
Yeah.
I think it's about the same thing.
They just watch YouTube all day. These boys.
Yeah, something.
No, this generation is more privileged.
1,000%.
More privileged.
1,000%.
And I think but that's our fault because as kids, when we all say this, when I get a child, I'm not going to treat my kids like this. And we grew up like that. Like I
hell
totally
yeah.
treated my kids differently.
I ordered some new Timbs. I was like, Ethan, you want a new pair too?
Look,
He's like, yeah. And then I looked at the price like, oh.
Do you know it took not just me, it took me and my ex-wife, because I was married for 24 years. I know it's my story.
Wow.
For 24
I had no
years,
idea
two of
about this.
my kids' mother, and we're great friends. Like, yeah, we're great friends. And it took us a year to convince our daughter to buy her a car. She did not want a car, a brand new car. She didn't want a car.
Why
Took
is
us a
that?
year. Because she said her mama is her Uber.
Oh my God.
She was like, why do I need a car? And no, literally, she
her
said this
fat.
while we were sitting on the couch discussing this. And I said, why you don't want a car? Like, that's crazy. Like, when I was a kid, I was begging people to buy me a car. And she was
real,
like, I was like, how you going to
You
get
were
around?
cool.
I was driving
Yeah.
my mom's van. Let me tell you, I don't give a fuck. I could pack it all up. Who need a ride?
Yeah. But even now, like, my daughter, she doesn't go nowhere. Like, she'll fill up her tank once a month.
Dang.
And that's what I think I told you this story a
You
few weeks
some
ago.
mom.
I had called my daughter one day. Like after we bought her the car. I think it was like 6 months it went by, and I said, "Hey, Kira," I said, "Who fills up your gas tank?" And she was like, "My boyfriend." I was like, "What?" I didn't know she had a boyfriend. Well, I still don't even know. She's 21. I still don't know. She won't tell me. But but I was like, "Who fills up your gas tank?" But then her mom was like, "I do." She's so spoiled. Like telling you, kids are privileged. She don't even fill up her own gas tank. And then the one day I did go fill up her gas tank, and I remember this vaguely. She was like, "Dad, can you follow me to the gas station because I need gas?" And I was like, "All right, cool." So she goes to Chevron, right? And that's the only thing she goes to. But Chevron was so far from her house because they live in Santa Clarita that we went to a Shell because it was right down the street. She was like, "Hey, I got to go to Shell, though, just to get gas, enough gas to get me to Chevron." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I put in my credit card, pumping the gas, and as it was going, I was like, "Hey, how much you want?" And she's like, "Oh, just a little bit, because I just need to get out to the Chevron," right? That's twice she said it, right? Why 3 days later, talking to her mom, and she was like, "Why Kira say you cheat?" And I was like, "I don't know why she said that." She was like, "Because she said you only put half a tank in her car. You didn't fill it up. You cheat." I was like, "Really?" Because I went by there like even a day after that, and I looked at Kira. I was like, "Why you call me cheap?" She was like, "What you talking about?" And I was like, "Your mama said you called me cheap because I only put half a tank of gas in your car. But you told me only put a little bit." She looked at her mama. She was like, "I'm never telling you nothing." I was like, "You told me to put a half again. I would have filled it up."
I motivated Ethan to get a job. I was like, a car comes with insurance, and insurance comes with a paycheck.
Right? Come
So it all
on.
needs to, line up and add up. I said, hell no, you got to do this for
Line
yourself.
up and add up.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? And this is how I talk to them. Like, no, like, you want to live that life? Well, go ahead and, line yourself up right. I said, Mom, I'm not going to be here forever. And I do tell them that is a reality, and sometimes kids don't realize that.
No.
Do kids get a job early on nowadays?
Yeah.
I started working at 16.
Hell no, my nephew, he works at In-N-Out. And he just took out my parents for breakfast. And my mom goes,
love it. Come on,
Mija
that's
y
cute.
pagó.
I mean,
Yeah.
because I didn't grow up with parents, right? Because my mom and I just didn't like my dad. But I been on my own since I was 14, on my own.
Oh my God.
And I never had a 9-to-5 job. Never in my life.
That's a whole nother podcast right there.
No, it's real simple. It's God. I'm telling you, and this is the one conversation I had with Darlene, is like, that's why I say when I look back at my life and be like, wow, like I'm on my second home. Like I traveled the world and I'm like, wow, how did I do this? God. Like I literally, when I say I love helping people and I love giving back, like all my life, even in entertainment, right? I've always had my own like entertainment company and I've worked on all these projects, but I've always done work and I never had a price list. People would just be like, hey, how much you charge for this? How much you started? And I was like, what do you got? And that's literally how I ran my business for all these years.
Yeah.
And because I knew God was going to get me. I said, you know what? I'm going to help this person because they needed help. Whether they were lying or not, I did it because that's what they told me. I'm not going to judge you. That's something you got to deal with God later. But I knew God was going to take care of me if they was playing me. So I never thought twice about it. I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Dang, that's a trip. Not a lot of people can honestly say that.
Yeah.
They're usually pretty fearful to not have that 9-to-5, to
No.
not have that secure check.
But you know what? I went through up and downs. Like I made a lot of money. I lost it. Because, you know, when I made my first few $100,000, I was real young and I blew it fast. But I knew it wasn't luck. Like I knew I had skills. So I made it again. And for years, I just kept on a path. I'll make it, I'll spend it all, and I'll make it again, you know. But it just taught me to even have faith. I was like, God always had me.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't do
that's
like
right.
malice with my money. It was just being non-business, just being ignorant, just buying shit, jewelry, cars, you know.
No, living that life.
Living that life. I was in entertainment.
You only got one life to live, right?
Hey. But that is my motto. I'm a moments person.
We're here for a
Like,
good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, that part.
so
Yeah,
I did
that's
that,
true.
but I always had my faith in God, and I always knew He was going to take care of me because I never did nobody wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why I knew that He was going to take care of me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Confidence.
No, like how you were saying earlier, I don't do people wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not perfect, and I'm saying I never made mistakes in business deals, but again, going back to what I was saying it earlier, the intent, shit, I can't talk right now. My intent was always pure.
Yeah.
Regardless if I made the wrong business decision or not, my intent was always pure. I've never intentionally go out to hurt somebody.
Right, right. Things are done unintentionally.
Right.
But if you're able to come back from that, own it,
Yeah.
you know, that's the
And
key
I've
part.
always owned my mistakes. And
Yeah.
oh, damn, I shouldn't have did that. But again, intent.
Yeah.
And that always taught me, like, I knew God was going to take care of me because He knew my heart. He knew my intent.
Yeah.
So I was cool.
I know. I'm looking at my crush goal. I love them.
Go ahead.
So today, I'm like, usually I do this. It's crush your goals, and they always line up with conversations. Today it states, whoever you look up to or put on a pedestal, know that they have fears too. They just learn how to push past it. And I think that's the hardest thing, even for women, right? They think that other person, they have it all figured out. And you have no idea what it took to just get here,
Yeah.
you know? And just put yourself together like, it's going to be all right. Even going up to the events where you kind of have seen me or I'll pop up, you know, it's really challenging for me to even get to those. Even going
It
for the
is.
gala, honestly.
It is. Bro.
I was like, no, it's just not my thing, Mike. It's just not my thing. He was like, no, you got to do it, D.
Because
This
you
is
need
what
to
you
be the
gotta do.
example. I told you that when you first went to the Women's God thing.
Women business with God.
Yeah, I
you know,
told
I was
you.
invited for 2 years. Never did it.
And you know, I literally told her this. I said no, because I know, and I don't like speaking ill of anybody, but I just knew like a person there that was on the wrong path. But I saw again the intent, and I said you need to be that example. You need to be around these women because they need people like you with that positive energy and that positive mindset. You need to be the example.
Yeah. I just like to stay in the cuts, you know. What's up, y'all? go to my house, see my kids, play with my dog.
No.
It's kind of what I do now.
This is your calling.
That's why I'm looking forward to boogieing.
Oh, Lord.
Janet, what words of wisdom do you have for us? What are you going
Drop
to
that
close out
knowledge.
with us with? Just talk, because you're amazing when you're talk. Just talk.
Yeah.
I would just say love yourself.
Yeah.
Love yourself. And just really focus on the greatness that's within you.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else will fall right into place. And just remember, it's not what's happening to you, it's what's happening in you that's going to make all the difference in your life.
Yeah. I love that.
I love that.
Yeah. I always tell people,
Focus
when was the
on
last
love.
time you said, I love you to yourself in the mirror?
I said it this morning.
I'm sure.
Yeah. You know, I would never look in the mirror. I would just walk past it, walk past it, walk past it. And I'm like, what's up, girl? Hey.
I got this huge mirror in my bathroom, and I'm in it every day.
You got
I
what?
believe
A
it.
huge mirror in my bathroom, and I'm in it every day.
With a smile. Get it right.
So I'm going to leave you guys with a piece of what I'm going to talk about tonight.
Okay.
Give y'all a sneak peek.
Sneak peek.
So what we do today, the decisions we make today, is what's going to make us who we are tomorrow.
That's right.
I love that.
That's right.
So we got to think about.
Hey. Actually, shout out to my other friend, Monique. She gave me a call this weekend, or actually a few days ago. She goes, you know what? I have to honestly say, like, I don't want to say too much of what she said, but she just said, you know, I like what you guys are doing. She said, you know, a certain conversation really hit me. And I said, really? And for, I think it was the Friends one, the one with Hilda, with Daniela.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, really? Because sometimes I just think to myself, like, you know, what do people even want to hear what I have to say? Or no, even if it's just one, like you said, even if it's not
what
now or
Janet
later.
said earlier as well.
Yeah.
You just never know. And that's why when we do this show, how you asked about earlier, what we talking about, we really don't know. It's just a conversation. We don't have I have notes and stuff here, but it's not really based on what we're going to talk about. Just little things that I want to bring up. But it's just really conversations.
That's what makes it so real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your life is inspiring just the way it is.
Mine is.
Yeah. With all my
appreciate that.
flaws. All of them.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
No, me. I'm talking about me
Oh,
with
you want
my
to talk about
flaws.
me? I thought you said I was inspiring.
Oh, no. I was just saying with my flaws. I was like, well, okay.
I thought you was talking about me. My
Nah.
bad.
Yeah, you are inspiring too.
Dang.
You're inspiring. Mike, and so
All
are
right,
you, Diane.
so we got to get ready to go for tonight.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous.
No, don't be. You're gonna be great.
Yeah.
You convinced me to come out and support. So come
No,
on
you know,
now.
it's crazy because I really didn't want to host this thing. Like, they asked me to do it because I don't know why everybody think because I have this show, like, I'm really great at hosting.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
It is totally different.
No, okay, now speak on this because you do public speaking. Do you get nervous sometimes?
No. So public speaking,
You're not helping me right
in
now.
public speaking is where I flow.
That's me.
Okay.
This right here is a lot more nerve-wracking for me.
Why?
Really?
One-on-ones with people is just more nerve-wracking. But if I have a mic on my hand, I could speak to thousands and I'll be a perfect piece. If I'm sick and having a terrible day, put a mic in my hand, I
There
don't
it is.
flow.
That's
Really?
your jolt of joy.
But this right here is a lot more nerve-wracking.
This is easy.
Yeah.
No, this is easy for me. I can do this all day long. Like, let's go. But like, and I've spoken in front of large audience, but it is different because in my career with my TV shows that I did, like I had this one kid show for like 18 years, and we toured around the country. So it was more entertainment. It was more just hyping up the crowd. Like, that's easy for me, right? That's like with me and karaoke, right? Because people keep saying, Mike, you do karaoke. You get on stage like it ain't nothing and just go. That's easy because it's entertainment. It's fun. It's like, but speaking, like I get nervous.
I love it. That's
I
my
think
thing.
you're going to do great.
Yay.
That's the.
Get it,
You
mine.
guys keep
Great.
saying
Get
that.
it, mine.
Jacqueline told me the same thing. I was talking to her the other day on the phone. Hernandez. She said the same thing. She's like, Mike, just be you. You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, because look, you're going to be there. She's going to be there. The city council people going to be there.
So then that should make it easy, right? It's familiar
No.
faces. It's just talking to, you know.
No, because
You
like
have to
I
remember
look
they're
up to
just-
her because I'm listening to her speeches and stuff that she do. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, that's amazing. I'm inspired.
But she's an individual, and that's what makes her who she is. You have to always remember that.
You trying to give me my own advice here?
No, it's the truth. You know, that's what I say. Nobody could tell you otherwise because that's your truth.
No,
Speak your truth.
No, I'm gonna have fun with it.
Yeah.
I was rehearsing with Raina last night, and we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun with it.
I can't wait.
Have fun. And be
You're not gonna.
yourself.
See, that's the thing. You're not gonna know I'm nervous, but inside I'm gonna be dying. But I have fun. Like I know how to fake that. Like I'm gonna be dying inside.
We're expecting to see Mike tonight. So whoever you are, just show us that.
Hey.
See, now you put the pressure on me.
Oh my God.
Anyways, thank you, Janet, for coming
Thank you,
and
girl.
sitting down
Thank
with
you
for
us.
having me come. I appreciate it.
Yes.
You got to come back. We got to talk about more stuff because there's a lot of stuff. I'm still processing everything you said because a lot you said was so amazing. Like you're still processing with me, and I want to get deeper into it
Let's do it.
because we need to have these conversations.
Yeah.
We do.
They're timeless conversations, and we need to continue to have them. Again, like how you were saying, we have to be leaders, so we have to continue to have these conversations.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, guys.
All
Be
right.
well.
Be well, and we out here.
Hey.